Hello students, my name is Karamjit Singh, PGT Business Studies. The next topic is features of business environment. There are total 7 features. 7 features. The first one is all the external forces. All the external forces here means the sum total of all the external forces, or we can say totality of external forces which influence the performance of a business enterprise. The second is specific and general forces. Specific here means we have customers, competitors, suppliers, which affect the individual enterprises directly, and general forces such as economic, social, political, legal, and technological conditions, which have an impact on all the enterprises indirectly. So, always remember when we talk about specific forces, so it affects individual enterprises directly, whereas when we talk about general forces, it has an impact on all the business enterprises indirectly. The third one is interrelation, or we can say interrelatedness. So different elements of business environments are closely interrelated with each other. Let's say when people are aware about their health, it means that they are health conscious. So they will demand products such as diet coke, fat free cooking oil, etc. Now the demand of all such products will ultimately increase. That is why it is interrelated with each other. The next is dynamic nature. Dynamic nature here means that business environment is dynamic in the sense that it keeps on changing. It keeps on changing in terms of technological improvement or shifts in customer preferences, or we can say new competitors in the market. So business environment is highly flexible, or it keeps on changing. The next is uncertainty. Uncertainty here means that it is very difficult to predict future happenings. So anything can happen anytime. So therefore, when environment changes, which these are the changes which takes place according to the change in business environment. So changes are taking place too frequently, like as in the case of information technology or fashion industry. The next is complex, or we can say complexity. It is very difficult to understand the impact of business environment on the companies. Though it is easy to scan the business environment, but it is very difficult to know how these changes in the environment will influence the business decision. So some changes may leave a minor impact, whereas others may have major impact. Let's say I'll give you examples related to restaurants. uh, there has been a reduction in tax rates. Earlier it was service tax, now it is GST. So there has been a reduction in tax rates for AC and non-AC restaurants, which may encourage general public to visit restaurants frequently, whereas higher tax rates for five-star hotels may discourage middle and upper middle class to visit more frequently. Similarly, increase in tax rate for small cars may discourage middle class people to buy cars, whereas rich class people will benefit after reduction of tax rates on luxury cars due to abolition of excise duty. So this is the example of complexity. The next is relativity. This is the last feature of business environment. The word relativity is derived from the word related, and in the context of business environment, it means something related to local conditions. Something related to local conditions. So, business environment is related to the environment which happens to be different from place to place, time to time, region to region, country to country, and even person to person. So, nothing is static in the business environment. So, changes in the environment create different situations, which compels the business enterprises to change their strategies also so as to achieve their desired goals. I'll give you one example. In Uttar Pradesh, government has decided that there must be complete ban on unauthorized slaughterhouses. So ultimately, there has been a fall in demand of beef, and people had to manage other alternatives. So people lost employment and they migrated to cities. Whereas we have one more example of McDonald's. McDonald's and many other restaurants, they had to change their menu as per the local conditions of India. In the same way, if saris can easily be sold in India, we cannot expect to have the same passion or culture in European countries, because there is a point just now you have studied, that is relativity. Okay, students, so these are the 7 features of business environment.